Welcome back, folks, and another show today. Thank you for joining me, and I'm pretty excited about this one because it's the first time that we did one while we're driving, and I apologize for you guys watching on the actual YouTube channel, but we are in, where are we at right now, Jake?
We are in Sacramento.
Okay. We are? We were in Auburn, I guess, and then we're about to come into Sac. Well, anyways, we just got done with I think it was a pretty awesome vet hunt. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I thought
Vet
it was
junior
really
hunt.
awesome.
It was a blast.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to tell you guys how many birds we shot because we want to leave that some suspense there for the video. So just pay attention. It's like the second week of October. You can go on our channel and watch it. But it was a vet junior hunt in Idaho, and we used the old gator tails the first hunting trip out of it. Unfortunately, Thomas didn't get to be part of it, so that was a bummer. But anyways, yeah, does that sound better, Morgan? Is that too low for you at first?
I can hear it. It's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're playing with some stuff. It's kind of cool. I got this hooked up in the truck. Anyways, we're driving down the road.
Camera is messed up.
That's okay. It's probably going to move all over the place. So you guys watch on the YouTube channel. It's going to be a little bit different than normal just because background's kind of all over the place. But wanted to get another episode out and just ask these guys what they thought about. Again, we won't say how many birds we shot, but kind of go over what you guys thought about. Like, Morgan, what did you think about? What did you like better? Did you like the morning hunt better or the afternoon?
I liked the afternoon because it felt like the birds were working better and they came in closer.
Yeah.
And we got like better shots, and it was cool the
Yeah.
way they worked and how when you shot, they were like right above the water. It was awesome.
Yeah. That was actually, yeah, I agree with you. The afternoon hunt, in my opinion, was a lot better. And just like you said, the way the birds worked, and I mean, there's a lot we could say about it. One of the things I thought, and I know you guys agreed, Jake's on here, by the way, Nathaniel Morgan's dad, but the last, I don't know, of the evening part of the hunt, it was like the last, 40 minutes. It seemed like they were responding to the calls pretty good.
Really?
And then all of a sudden, they weren't working when I was calling, and I shut up the last 30 minutes or so, and then we had a couple more groups do it pretty good. So that's a good learning lesson for me, for us, all of us, to realize, even if it's in the same day, doesn't mean you don't change your strategy. Because if you got to be, what would be that word, Jake? Like aware? I'm trying to think of the right word that you'd use for that. Like you got to be able to adjust. You got to be discerning of like what works, what doesn't work, right? And I wasn't really dawned on me at first, like calling was not all of a sudden stopped working. And I think I said something like, you guys think I should stop calling? I think you said, Jake, you said, yeah, lay off it or something, see what happens. And then they worked.
Yeah.
I'm kind of all over the place. I don't know. What do you think about, I don't know, where should we start with this? I mean, it's kind of like, I guess we could be all over the place with this. Just start in the morning and
The scouting.
scouting. We put some time in that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yep. I think it was, a couple hours of time on the motor, on the hobs, because that Gator Tail 40 horse has a hobs on it. I mean, what were you thinking of scouting? I mean, what kind of was going on, your thoughts, as far as, I mean, that was new for all of us, not just me. I mean, not just you, but me too. Like, do you think we did the right way, or do you think we could have did something better when it comes to scouting?
No, we did. I mean, we only had a day to scout, right? We went out in the morning early and looked. And then we looked in the afternoon, found locations that we thought would be best for where birds would work, and then also where we could get tucked in, right? And then hunting in the unknown, you don't know if there's going to be other hunters or if it's just going to be you by yourself.
Yeah.
So and
that's the thing. Nobody was out there.
Right.
like 0. And we're like, but we still talked about it a bunch the night we scouted because it was a Saturday, Sunday hunt, guys. And we scouted Friday morning, Friday night, kind of almost all day Friday. And we didn't see nobody out there. And Jake's got to focus here because he's driving. I probably should give him some directions here just to confirm. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, you know where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, 95. Well, then our thoughts were like, okay, I said, all I want to do is I want to see birds. Remember that? I was like, let's just see birds. Then we seen birds, and then we all felt better. Then it was reverted to, are we going to be fighting guys in the morning? Then the debate was, what time are we going to get up in the morning? What time we got to get out there to beat people out there, if there's even anybody? Because we had never seen nobody driving down the river when we were doing all that scouting, and we were on the river a lot Friday. Well, sure enough, we got out to the ramp. We didn't go that early. I've been earlier at a lot of places, and we didn't even go that early. We got to the ramp at 5.
Yeah.
And when we got out there at 5, oh, you're good for 78 miles now. When we got out there at 5, there was not a soul in the parking lot. Because my stomach, we were all kind of like nervous. We're going to see a bunch of dudes in the parking lot. We got to the ramp, not a soul. And we're just like looking at each other like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be out here by ourselves. So we unload, we get out there. Just cool, man. Oh, my goodness. Nathaniel, why don't you tell us about the geese?
The geese.
Coming out there off the ramp, going to our spot.
Yeah.
With the lights.
Crazy.
That was insane.
Tons of geese.
We had a little incident.
Yeah. We're driving down and going at a decent speed, not too fast, but the lights were kind of pointed a little high, and we could see them all, even when they jumped up all the way until they're flying up high. We're driving down. Geese are jumping all in front of us, like right in front of us. And then one was just stood there, and I sat there, and I just had to slow down a little bit. So we slowed down. All of a sudden, I looked to the right, and there's one coming right for me. I jumped up and lifted up my legs and arms, and he whacked the boat right beside me. It scared me to death.
I mean, went right into it. If I wouldn't have let off the throttle, we would have hit a few.
Yeah.
There was hundreds. How many do you think there was, Jake?
There was several hundred. Oh, yeah.
Easily, huh? Am I exaggerating?
No, not at all.
No.
It was, and if I would have just been going gung-ho, what was happening is that light was blinding them.
Yeah.
What was going on.
Uh-huh.
But that was kind of an experience in itself. And it definitely was their roost, because after they left, when the sun came up, they did not come back until sun was setting. So it was definitely their roosting spot on the river. And what I thought was weird is, my question is, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out is, okay, they were roosting in the river, but it's pretty good current where we were at. So, I mean, like, how are they resting if they're paddling and, like, kind of fighting the current all night? Like, I just thought that was kind of weird. Surely they're not just drifting down river. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. You would think they would pick, like, a calm water pond or something to roost in. So, but anyways, so then we got to our spot, and we brushed up really good. You guys, the boys really helped out a lot. We were cutting brush. Jake was running the camera, so big shout out to Jake. I'm really excited to look at the footage, actually. That, like I said, it would come out around the second week of October. He was getting us working. I was cutting it with this little short saw, little blade saw at Thomas Scott. It was pretty slick, and man, we brushed that thing up. We got the what brand is it? The Avery boat blind on ours, because our boat's 17 foot. Put that thing up, set it up. There were some learning curves that we had. I mean, it was nice having Jake and the boys there on that, like not me going out there by myself, because you brought to attention, just like raising and lowering that. The best way for two guys to do is sit in the boat, face each other with each bracket, and then drop that thing. I mean, you could do it one guy, but man, that'd be pretty tough.
Fight it. Any chance of kinking it and bending it, too, actually.
Yeah, because it's all aluminum poles. And I don't know. What do you think of that blind, actually? Just honest review, opinion of it.
It's really good. I think just what little we used it, felt like we worked out a few little kinks that I think the longer you use it and the more you use it, you're going to get familiar with it and be faster at it. It's really good cover, though, and you can brush it up really, really nice and be pretty much mobile, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere you want to be, you can brush up and get covered. But like I said, definitely, I think using it a couple times, like the second day we set it up, we were really a lot faster with it.
Yeah.
First time felt like it took us a minute to get it all dialed in the way we wanted it. Yeah, just a few little things, I think.
Yeah.
If someone got one, they'd probably realize there's ways to make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Well, you know what? Actually, that reminds me of something. Is that's actually a custom boat blind. So you get the package, you get all the poles, you get everything, but you do have to do some drilling. You do gotta do some cutting because a lot of these boats, some are I can't remember what they call ours, like the shape of it. You got the oh my goodness, my mind's going blank. I do this and then people always comment, this is what you're trying to say. But John boat, like the John boat, you got those shapes, and those have different shapes. You know, some are wide at the back and narrow at the front, just like ours is. Then some people, I guess, have thrown it on an actual, like, semi-bass boat, you know, that kind of comes into a point. So, I mean, that's the cool part about the Avery boat blind is it is able to fit on a variety because you cut and you make it custom. Because people are asking me, why'd you get that boat blind? Like, what was it? You know, what was the deal with that? And I just told them, you know, it's because it's custom, and like I know people that use it and are very happy with it, and they all said the same thing. It is a literal pain to put together. I mean, you've seen us in the middle of it, kind of. My goodness, I think it took us. I want to say that took us total. We worked on it like 3 or 4 different days. I want to say total time, maybe 7 hours.
Man.
wow.
Yeah. We
That's
did
a
a couple
long
hours the first night, a couple the next. It might have been around 6. It was 6 or 7 because I think this thing says, what are we? What? Oh, was there birds flying?
Yeah.
What, were they geese or ducks?
No, ducks.
That's funny. I had some specks. Did I tell you about those specks that flew over my house the other night?
Yeah.
It was like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's crazy this early.
No, but the boat blind was nice. The boat was really nice. It was convenient.
Push it a little closer here.
But yeah, you definitely want to brush up wherever you go.
Yeah.
It was kind of a pain to get out of it, though, in and out of it.
That is the
Big
downfall
time.
to the blind.
Big time.
Because it's
Yeah.
fully surrounded, right? You're fully enclosed. So to get in and out of the blind is kind of, that there could be some fabrication on that to make that easier.
You had a good idea, Nathaniel. So what are you thinking? Because what Nathaniel was saying is that if we could cut, so what is on the front and the back, to get in and out of the boat, you basically want to go out the back because you got the drop deck transom. It's kind of a nice little step down into the water. Nathaniel was saying, man, if there's a way you could cut 2 cuts in the middle so you could go through. But what was your idea? You said, what was your idea for
Well, I
that?
said on the back right beside the motor, just make a cut, just pretty much cut out almost the whole back side on the one side of the motor, just that one part, and then kind of added 2 more poles on both sides of them so they'd still be sturdy onto the boat, and then you'd have a walkway.
How would you attach it to the boat?
Attach it to the boat.
You know what I mean? The bottom
yeah.
end?
Well, I don't know what they're called or whatever, but they're like little.
Like a clamp,
No.
maybe?
It's like a little pipe with like a pocket, and there's a flat piece, and almost like that. Kind of like that.
So like you would screw into the boat?
Yeah, you just screw it in the boat. It's just like a round thing like
So you
that.
just drop it in.
And then you just drop that pipe perfectly in, almost like a coupling.
That is not a
Kinda
bad
like
idea.
that.
Now, the thought of drilling into the boat would not be the greatest
Yeah.
thought. But what about this?
Some glue.
we're kind of talking through this, guys, as you're listening. What about, those, they're like I don't know how you describe that, where it's like a metal piece that like a bracket, and then you can twist the one side and it clamp it. What about like a clamp?
Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. Like a closet and where the pool's going for the hangers?
Yeah.
That little thing that you stick the pool in.
Oh, okay.
One of those. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Probably.
I agree. I never even actually thought about that. Now, those of you guys that are listening, when it stood up, that'd be all great and fine and dandy, but it's got to be able to drop down, fold down. Not that you couldn't do what you're saying. You would just have to make some type of something. I think you could actually use a bracket, that clamp, and somehow attach that thing like you're saying to the clamp so it could be removable. And then you just take those two poles or something. Jake's good at that kind of stuff. I know you could come up with something.
Yeah, you can make something that would work.
And it would work, huh? You still could drop it down, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't need to worry about the front.
It'd be way more convenient.
Man, that'd be better.
Yeah, it would.
That is a pain. And here's the other thing I was really worried about for myself. Any of us getting in and out of there is stepping over it or crawling under it. You feel like you're going to break, you don't want to break it.
Yeah, just one trip, huh?
Yeah, because you're basically tippy-toeing to get over it.
Every single time.
Or you're crawling to get under it, and you're just going to hang your waders. You could snag your waders, or you're just hanging up on something.
How much you want to bet Thomas is going to hate that, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas is going to want to rig something up to fix that. I already know right now he is. Because it was driving me nuts.
Lucky for him, he's a little taller than all of us.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing, too. You're probably thinking, well, why do you need to get in and out so much? Because you have Rocky, which is true. But on this situation, on this trip, there was times where I needed to get out and kind of direct Rocky to tell him which way to go. And the current of the river, that was something to deal with right there.
Yeah.
We lost a few birds because of that.
Yeah, it's fast.
Nathaniel, you tell him, Nathaniel. You crushed that.
Just crushed them and then walked up right to the edge and just watched them probably 10 feet just float right past me. Couldn't grab them because
And I was gone with Rocky.
Yeah, you're over there on the other side of the island getting another bird.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's such a bummer. I actually end up, because I'm worried about Rocky too. I don't want him to get out there. I mean, obviously they're too oh no, Jake actually, I think that was you that called him back that one time, but he ended up, or there was two different times because once you called him back because he was going.
No, that was me, and then you got in the boat and went and got those other two.
Oh, that I shot.
Afternoon.
Yeah, I doubled up, and then
I got scared he was going to get caught in the current. Not that it was just moving really fast, just I don't know.
Yeah. Was he wanting to go for it, or?
Well, he went for it, and then he finally grabbed one of them. Then he just dropped it and tried to get out of the current, kind of.
Kind of panicked.
Yeah, I guess so.
And for those of you listening, Titus slipped in that he doubled, just so everyone.
Oh, thanks.
Just so everyone could catch that.
I know. I just wanted to make
sure.
He
did slip that in.
Did I just kind of sneak?
Yeah, you did sneak. You snuck in. The older two I doubled. Yeah, caught that.
That was hey.
Noted. Duly noted.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey.
Hey.
That was two birds I wasn't about to let float down the river without going to get them. And by the way, you can say I slipped that in, but I had to run how far do you think that boat was the first time?
15 yards.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, right.
It was a long ways.
Thanks, Morgan. Literally ran back there, jumped in it. Jake's like, you ain't never going to get those birds. You ain't never going to get those birds.
And you're walking in the weeds and the water's to your waist, too.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a little bit lower. I think it was more like knees, lower. Probably right there.
Yeah.
Anyways, it dropped. What it is it basically got the river. It's pretty deep, waist deep right on the edge, and then it just drops. And then next to that, going inland, it's kind of nice grassy stuff, like duck food stuff, and that's to your knees, and then it goes up to dry land eventually. But anyways, it was interesting. But I ended up finding those two downriver, probably 300, 400, maybe 500 yards away downriver, but they got kind of circled in a swirl. And I mean, we're dropping these birds right by us. It's not like we were dropping them out, 40 yards away from us. I mean, they were close. That part where I doubled right there.
Yeah.
There. Jake, Jake's just mad that he had to sit there and watch. No, he really was. You really spent a lot of time videoing. I probably got like 5 hours of video to edit.
Let's just hope I didn't have it on pause.
Yeah, you're never gonna hear the end of it.
Yeah.
Probably not.
At least we got a podcast.
We got a podcast out of it. That's all that matters.
But yeah, no, Rocky, you could. I don't know if you'd lose a dog, but it's rough on him. That current is fast and it takes him quick. So there was a bird that was shot, and he actually went out and almost got to it, and he just turned around and came back. Like, I think even he knew, like, this is okay.
This ain't no bueno.
No, and he was going down. He ended up way down the river. I mean, I'm running on the bank trying to keep up with him, and it's a different animal. The rivers, it was tough. It's tough. It's just different, right? We don't know it yet. I mean,
yeah,
I know. That was my first time hunting on a river.
Me too.
But
yeah, all I've ever done is out of kayak. But
yeah, definitely a dog in a boat is very, very convenient.
And
we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Even like a net would have been handy, right? And the thing we
Mhm.
could have got that bird with the net.
Yeah.
You know, there's just moments where that you could see that would be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. Good time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they just the way they were decoying again. I've said this before. I've said this so many times on this podcast, and sorry if you're making your ears bleed, but well, okay. Is that the first time you've been out duck hunting out of California?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that you haven't had birds decoy with you in California on a refuge, but how often do you see them come in like that?
Never.
Yeah, not like that. Not that consistently, right?
Right. It does
you can
happen.
hunt all day, and then you get those 2 ducks that decoy really well, and you're like, wow. But here that's what they came to, was the decoy and the calling. I mean, you guys called quite it was weird. In the morning, the calling really, really worked well, the morning hunt,
Mhm.
because actually our mojo was dead,
Yeah.
so that didn't pan out. And then the decoys
Kind
were
of hidden.
hidden in the grass, and they were there, but I don't know how much of a factor those were on those birds. The calling was really a factor because we were
Yeah.
on one side of a pretty good sized island. I would say 500 yards by maybe 200 yards wide, right?
Mhm.
The river wides and goes around it. And there was several times that the birds would fly over us and they looked like they were gone, right? You can almost just say, okay, those are gone. And you guys would call, and then they would literally circle all the way back around and come back around and help us out.
Yeah.
It's just a laser.
It's just a,
Driving.
it's just a laser.
just a laser.
But yeah, you could. They worked really well to the decoys and to the calling. But that morning hunt seemed like the calling was really, really, really a good.
Yeah, because I mean, what else did we have to attract them?
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
I was really frustrated. And so we got the Lucky Duck. I got the Lucky Duck HDI, which is an expensive one, which I didn't even want because of the price. It's like $220 or something. Like, I was like panicking. I looked everywhere. I looked every site. Nobody had the remote. Because what I wanted the remote because I want the intermittent. I don't like a Mojo or Lucky Duck spinning wing just spinning constantly. I like to be intermittent or turn off and on. Because you guys know I'm not a big spinner wing proponent, but I do know out of state they work really good, and for whatever reason. Anyways, man, there was nobody that had them, and of course a week after I bought that stinking expensive one, which I still didn't. It's like, man, if I could sell it. Someone could give me $200, I'll sell it and go get because Lucky Duck also has the $220 one, but you get a hen and a drake out of it.
Oh wow.
So you get 2 out of it, and they're both remote controlled.
Is the more expensive one a better one? Or-
No, what it is, it's not the HDI. It doesn't have the same battery because this battery's supposed to last forever. And my point, where I'm going with this is, it died in like, I don't know, not even 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that was our big factor of drawing the attention of the birds, like Jake was saying. And then it died, and I was mad. I was like, are you kidding me? But I guess I had fully charged it about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. And like Jake was saying, he's like, dude, it does lose charge. I just didn't think it should have lost that much, but I had it fully charged like 3 weeks prior, and I guess that was a bad idea because today, when we took it out, how long do we have that run? 3 hours?
Not even that. It died pretty quick.
No, today.
Oh, today we had it run over 3 hours.
And
it
it
was fine.
never even flinched. So must have just been like Jake said, it loses charge. I didn't think it would lose that bad. Maybe I didn't have it charged all the way. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, other than that, the calling was the only other thing. The bummer was, and I never finished saying this. So we got out there, we got brushed up. We're like, we have this to ourselves. Can you believe this? Like we were 100% confident we were just going to slay them, and I really know we would have, honestly. Not that all the birds would have came right where we were at, but majority of them just because probably decoys and calling and whatever else. Anyways, about shoot time was at 7:05.
Yeah.
Come 6:15, late, all of a sudden you just hear boats. Not like something like California, but you can hear them coming. We look at each other like, oh, great. Maybe they'll just keep going or maybe they'll stop. Nope. One group comes in, you can hear a kid talking, another guy. Then another boat comes in, and there was for sure 3, we think maybe 4, all within how big of a yardage would you say?
All around that island.
Yeah, a couple 200, 300-yard radius, I would say. We're like, man, we're in Idaho, and we still got to deal with this. Like, oh, well. And, man, oh, my goodness. They were about to land on us in the boat blind, in the boat. I'm not joking. I know you were on the far side, Nathaniel, and that thing must have landed. A bunch of them were landing in the grass right next to the boat.
Right there.
Like it wasn't even there. And I was scrambling in. Anyways, looked at my clock. It actually said 7:06. No one had shot yet. And I said, wait, before I looked. When I looked, and it was like, oh, it's 7:06. They were just getting ready to shoot, I think, if I remember right. And then just bang, 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 boom, bang. Because there was at least 100 birds come right into us.
Oh man, yeah.
Like it was crazy.
Flood into I know that sounds ridiculous, but it was that stupid. Now obviously it's early in the season, and they didn't know what was going on. They've been going there every day like that, so they just had no fear of coming in. It was crazy, but that was chaotic, bad. Titus yelling at everybody. Gun barrels swinging, heads popping up and down, guys yelling, dogs jumping in and out of the boat. Yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. I don't know. What'd you think about that first 20 minutes?
It's just hectic, crazy.
There was so many new factors in that hunt. Boat blind, boat, river. Lots of birds. Oh man, it was an interesting thing. But we covered the boat blind. We covered the boat. That thing ran like a champ. I know me and Thomas, without anything in the boat, have went 32 miles an hour. And again, I know we brought that up, and I'm not saying that like we're trying to. We see how fast we can go because we're not worried about that. Like to me, that's a little crazy to go full blast early in the morning with just the lights. Yeah. I mean, you don't know what you can run over, but
geese.
Yeah, geese. But when we were scouting, now mind you, this was us 4, and these guys don't weigh. But what do you even weigh, Nathaniel?
117, holding strong.
Morgan?
About 125, 126.
Really?
Yeah.
You're heavier than Bubba, huh?
Yeah.
By the way, Morgan's 12, Nathaniel's
16. He's fat.
He's a grown boy. But so there's 4 of us, and we were going 28, and then we put the decoys in. Rocky was with us too. And then the next day, I don't even know what we clocked, but I could definitely tell a difference. But it's still, I'm sure it was going well over 20, don't you think, Jake?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it ran good, though. I mean, what do you think the performance-wise?
Oh,
we were going upstream, like upriver, too.
Strong current. Strong current, too.
And it's a learning deal for me too. I'm still learning, what's the word I'm looking for? Trim. I know I've done trim. I've had boats, but that trim, working on the gator tail, just getting that good starting point and then trimming out. I mean, I feel like I have it down pretty good. Jared at Gator Tail was telling me 4,300 RPMs is kind of like a good number. And it's funny because I never thought about looking at the RPMs to do that. And you don't need to really. You can do it by hearing, right? Like the sound. You can tell when it's kind of overspeeding, like you have it too far out of the water. But he said that. And then also Kevin, who's the pro drive dealer, he was talking about how you just kind of keep your prop right at the top starting out, and it kind of works out good. You can trim a little bit there, but so that's a learning point too, because it is definitely different. But another thing I liked about the boat, we'll end this here pretty soon. Another thing I like about the boat too is how easy it was for us to, once I lifted the motor all the way out of the water, to push it up into tules or grass or 6-inch deep water. I mean, it was just like lift the motor up. We'd all get, I mean, me and Jake did by ourselves, but all four of us, we just pushed it right where we wanted it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because that evening we just shoved it up in the tules and walked out and hunted off the ground, right? I mean, it's just nice. You can hide it pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to believe. I mean, that's a big boat, has lots of stuff on it, and it's just 6 inches of water. Just make sure the prop's not down dragging, And man, it just like pushing nothing to get up in there. But boy, it was a learning experience. Anyways, I don't know. What do you got anything else you're thinking of, Morgan, that you thought of the hunt, or just anything about? What'd you think about that? I mean.
It was a blast. It was fun being with you guys, fun hunting, and yeah, this yesterday morning was cool. How we seen all those fish. They were big. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to see all those. Then all them geese. When was that? That was
yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool, and just being with friends and family is fun.
Yeah.
Got your first wood duck.
Yeah, I got my first stray wood duck.
That was big. You crushed him, too.
Yeah.
And actually, he found some pretty thick stuff. I think we were all a little bit, I don't know we said it, but we were all a little concerned about finding that. He wasn't, I mean, you stone colded him.
How long was Rocky back when I was in there crawling looking for it?
He came in and out.
Really?
You were like over here. He went that way. I was thinking, oh, great. But I trust Rocky so much because he went in there, and I was like, man, I think I even said it. He's on the – because what it was is so far you could go in these – what would you call those, Jake? They're not like trees. They're just like long, tall –
bushes.
Just
like
shrubs.
Yeah. Super tall, though.
Yeah, but they're strong. They don't really break.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They're stacked on each other.
Well,
Literally
then
stacked.
you go in a little bit. You can kind of walk through there, and then like, I don't know, 15 yards in, it's just all of a sudden, like Nathaniel said, it's stacked. Like basically from downwash from the river that's just piled up over the years. You can't go through it. Even Rocky could not penetrate it. So I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't go that far in. And he went in, and I felt like under a minute he came right back out with it in his mouth. That was a pretty cool moment, though.
Yeah, it was.
I think Morgan was petting that thing about petted the feathers off the top of his head.
What happened with you and Dad when you set one of your birds down and went to go get another one,
yeah.
and you came back and it was gone?
Oh.
Or what?
Yeah. Was that my bird? I think it was, huh?
Yeah.
I shot that bird. We couldn't find. We're like, it fell right here. Right here. I mean, close. Well, little did we, I thought he was stone cold dead. Well, we went over there. Rocky was running. Jake and Rocky were kind of working out. I think
Nathaniel shot one, and he was looking for his.
Was I over there with him or something? Because I don't feel like I was with you guys at first.
You weren't. You were helping
Nathaniel.
Well,
Yeah.
then Rocky came over and found it.
And it was alive.
And you got it, and you set it
Under my knee.
under your knee because some birds were coming in,
and that's when I shot that.
And
wood
then we
duck.
stand up and shoot.
He shot the wood duck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then so we're all excited about that, and then you look down and you're all, that bird's gone again. So we all started a search party and spent, I don't know, felt like 10 minutes looking for that stupid bird again.
Rocky went and got the wood duck.
Yeah.
Came back. We saw it, found it, and then Rocky went and got it again.
Found it again, yeah.
And that time, she went night-night that time.
Yeah.
I don't know how either because she just folded.
Yeah.
That was really weird. Guess I didn't make a headshot like I should have did, but I don't think it was 10 seconds that I had stood up and would look back down and she was gone. So, but man, another good reason to have a dog. It's just, I mean, what would you do? You know, how many birds would you lose without a dog? And like I said, I'm not saying we didn't lose any on this trip. In fact, last year I didn't lose one bird. And Elliot was almost like, he almost didn't believe it. You didn't lose one bird. No. Anybody that hunted with me, including myself and anybody that hunted with me, never lost one bird last year. I'm not saying that's normal. I'm not, like, I know you can still lose a bird even with a dog or something. But, because if you shoot one and it sails off. Luckily that never, not that I can recall it really happened, but I did track that because I do track Rocky's retrieves, but anyways, man, like Morgan said, we laughed our guts up.
Yeah.
Literally laughed so much. Going there. Why don't you tell him, Morgan, about
I was going to mention it, but I didn't know if I should. Tell him, Morgan.
Tell him, Morgan.
My dad and Nathaniel were laying in the bed talking. Titus was in his room, so I just walk up there, and Titus goes in the room with my dad and them just talking. And I walk upstairs, and I sit down on a stair step, just sitting there, just listening to what they were talking. I could see right through the door. They were standing there talking, and I sit down. I did the loudest fart ever. Like, it was unbelievably loud, and it stunk. And I did it right by a fire thing, and it just started beeping.
The carbon monoxide alarm.
Yeah,
and he set the alarm off. Beep. We laughed so stinking hard.
The funniest thing.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why they had it down on the baseboard, but that was the funniest stinking thing. We laughed.
So
I can't even
funny.
tell you all the things we laughed at. And my neck, I felt like I was getting a sore throat because my neck muscles were so sore. And then I almost threw up. I laughed so hard. It was, man, I'll tell you what, it's good to laugh. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention.
and then Bloody Toe over here.
Another thing I thought was cool about yesterday, we shot a bird, we lost it, then we went back that evening, and then we were figuring out where to park because it was real hot, nothing was flying, so we were just gonna wait till we seen our first bird and then go walk to our spot. Well, we were figuring out where to park, and we said let's park here, and then we kept driving. Then we said we'll just park where we hunted. So we went back over there. And Rocky was looking in the bushes or whatever, just sniffing around, and then.
Well, we heard something flap. Remember?
Yeah,
It was like, and I threw Rocky out of the boat. I literally just threw him out. I go, fetch him up.
And I just walked around with Rocky, and I could hear just flapping all around in the bushes.
That bird was alive.
Like alive. He was going. And Rocky just turned around, gave up, started walking to the boat, and I said, Rocky, come here. And I was just watching it. And it was just an ugly drake, just mallard, just sitting right there. And Rocky come over there and grabbed it.
That's awesome. That made me feel good. You guys got that one because I felt bad for the birds that we lost, but I forgot about that. Yeah. What's your final words on it, Nathaniel, about just anything you want to say specifically about the whole trip, journey, everything?
Well, it was just a whole lot of fun, blast. First out of state duck hunt, which was awesome, and hunting in a boat. So that was really fun. And yeah, pretty much everything's said. I'm right there with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake.
Oh, I had a blast. It was a good time. A lot of fun. Learned a lot. You know, one other thing too, I was happy with those shells Morgan was shooting. We was kind
Oh
of
yeah.
Yeah.
kind of worried about that. I know there's a lot of guys out there that probably bought these shells. I guess it's okay to say it, huh?
Yeah.
We got the Migras
Mm.
this year with the 2 and the 4 shot,
The
and
mix,
yeah,
which is really, I think it's a great idea.
yeah, and those actually, like, we went to a couple stores on the way there, and that was the only shell really available because it's just, I know this year is hard for everybody to find shells, but my feedback, I mean, Morgan's birds,
Crushing them.
yeah, they were dropping just, I know
Mhm.
you and Nathaniel were shooting heavy metal, but them Migras were doing
Doing
really
damage.
Yeah, and I was kind of concerned because I bought 2 cases of it, right? But this hunt, we was really happy with
Yeah.
it, so that's huge.
Oh,
Because I
man.
was actually kind of worried they were just going to be garbage, but really good feedback for that. So,
Yeah.
and then also, yeah, the hunt itself was really great. I mean, I think we ended up 16 mallards,
We're supposed to say.
something like that.
We were leaving the.
Oh, was we?
Yeah, we were leaving.
Did I blow it?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
That's not all though. That's not all
No,
we
that's
shot.
not all. I'll
So,
stop right there.
yeah.
But it was just a great hunt. The guys had a good time, the kids, and I had fun videoing. I don't know how good the video will turn out. I guess you'll find out.
It'll be
but-
good.
And then, yeah, just hanging out with friends and the boys, and it was good times.
Yeah. Going back, excuse me. Going back to that Migra. Do you remember what the feet per second were on that? Was it 1,500 or 14 something?
I don't remember, actually.
You guys remember?
I think 15.
Was it 1550 or just 15? I'm not too sure. I don't know.
Wasn't it 1515?
No.
Something
It might have been.
I'm
Honestly,
not
it might have
sure.
been something like that. It really. I mean, it could have
It was
easily.
15 something, I know for sure.
Okay, it was at least we
Thought
know
it
it's over
was.
15.
But, I mean, his birds folded.
Yeah, even when we breasted them out, I opened up the breast and a couple were damaged. They had big old holes and just damage in the breast. I was thinking, I bet you this one's Morgan's. Looked at the head, and Morgan shot a couple that had quite a bit of green on their heads. And sure enough, it was Morgan's.
Oh, really? Yeah, because
Yeah.
his two by far were the two greenest.
Yeah,
'Cause,
got 2.
Obviously, this early, nothing's plumed all the way out yet. I mean, there's still got a ways to go, but we did see some nice green ones.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
In fact, the one I lost, which I was sick over, and it fell so deep in that stuff. Like I said, Rocky came back in over there. He was pretty green, like he was pretty plumed. But yeah, that early season, man. It's really hard. You're just praying every time. You're like, because obviously you got the bills to look out once you shoot them, but you're like, and it really worked out perfect. But like I said, we won't go into all detail about drakes and hens and how many and all that stuff, but you guys will just have to wait to see that and watch that if you guys want to. But anyways, we'll go ahead and end it there, and we're probably another hour and a half from home, something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
We're doing good though. I mean, we left at 5:30 from my house, right, in the morning on Thursday. Got there, well, that's a long story. I'm gonna end the podcast, but could have got there earlier. We kind of took our time, stopped at Shills, just it was a good time. No rush to get there, and then we got up and scouted Friday, hunted Saturday, hunted this morning, and now we left around 11. We were on the road, so good time. And my closing thoughts are, I said this on a couple podcasts ago, I got good feedback from you guys. Find some people that if you don't have no hunting partners and you want them, because I know a lot of people, I see it a lot on social media, like any suggestions on how to find hunting partners, how to find good people to hunt with. Travis gave some ideas like check station, just be friendly at the check station, talk to guys. It's not that you're asking to go with them on the resi, but just, to make yourself friendly and say, hey, would you ever want to hunt sometime? That was really a good thought. There were some other things like, I don't know. You'll have to go back and listen to that episode. I think that was like 3 episodes ago from this one. And I got really good feedback from you guys that how you said, oh, I did this and I talked to this guy and that was 5 years ago and we're best friends now and we hunt every hunt together. But where I'm going with that is these guys, Jake, we've been friends, have known each other our whole lives, and now I'm hunting with his kids. I'm taking my kids hunting. It's just a pretty neat deal And like I was saying in that one podcast, if you're the only one, you don't have nobody to hunt with, just pass it on. Take your niece, take your nephew, take your kids, let them be your hunting partners. And there's nothing like it. I mean, I'm not trying to drag this podcast on, but like Jake, I mean, what do you think? It's such a huge factor of having people that you hunt with.
Well, just to jump in, but if I was hunting, if I would have went on this trip with two strangers or three people, right? Three other strangers, and just went on this hunting trip, I mean, I think I would have had a good time, but hunting with your boys and your good friends, it's like how it just makes up for any downtime in the hunt. We can laugh, we can talk. It just makes the experience you can't even. It's way more than 2 times better. It's just it's not even in the same category.
Yeah.
It just takes it to a whole nother level. And then when you go on a lifetime hunt like this, right, out of state, spend 4 days, scouting, boating, doing all those things we've done this past 4 days. I mean, that's just something that doing that with your boys and your friends, it's like it doesn't get any better, right?
And I forgot to mention the air filter cover.
Oh,
Yeah.
My goodness, I can't believe that thing somehow came off, and that's a long story. I'm like, somehow it worked its way loose. I mean, we put a lot of miles on this driving it back from Louisiana, and that thing came loose somehow, and we found a place that's not even a motor place, because it's a Briggs & Stratton, right? The lower end is Gator Tail, but the motor itself is Briggs & Stratton. And we found a place like 30 minutes away that had it. Called multiple places. I still can't believe that. But because I was trying to think when you were saying about that, about friends, how much better it is. We didn't have one moment where like, this is not fun. Not one moment.
No.
Not one moment where we just weren't like, this is the best. This is awesome. I mean, from drinking some coffee in the morning, trying to get things moving.
Yeah, but if you were by yourself or with strangers,
Right.
it would be like,
That would just be non-existent, right? Like, it's part of the trip. It's not bad, but it's not special. But I mean, we literally just sitting there eating food, and we're dying laughing over the dumbest things. These guys, if I've ever seen anybody like their family and their dad, it's them. I remember growing up, being young, eating at Jake's house, breakfast, and his family likes to laugh, let's put it that way, and likes to make you laugh. And I don't know how old I was, maybe 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that, I don't know. And they'll look at you, laugh until you laugh. And I took a big old drink of milk right when they did that, and all of them, even the mom and dad, just look at me. And I spit milk all over the kitchen table because I was laughing so hard. Do you remember that?
yes.
So these knuckleheads in the back, Morgan and Nathaniel, we're at, what was that hamburger place?
Freddy's.
Freddy's.
Yeah, Freddy's.
And that first night, we were tired already, so that's probably why everything was so funny. But I don't remember, wasn't we starting to laugh so hard there, and we couldn't even eat because we were laughing and laughing, and then we'd look at each other and laugh some more. And the reason I'm bringing that is it's just like, you can't buy that right there. Like, you literally can't buy that.
No.
And, I don't even know if you guys know how fortunate or blessed you are to have just that whole, we all are, not just you guys, but we all are. And so I'm super thankful for that. And I can do that with almost all of my friends. We have moments like those, and those are priceless. And so that was a big part to me, because laughing is not like, some people just are blessed, like they can laugh easy, or they're funny. I'm more on the serious side sometimes, but I can laugh with the best of them, but I don't always create that humor. But it was really nice being with these guys. That really can just make you, I don't know what it is. It might just be Morgan's face. It just makes me laugh. Or Nathaniel's face. Because they just start laughing and I don't even know why. I'm like, why? Jake's like, why are you here? We're just joking with him. But anyways, that's nice being around people like that. And, fellow brothers in the Lord, I respect these guys. They're hard work. He's a hard worker. He's raised his boys to be hard workers and organized. We're talking about that. There's just a lot of things that I'm thankful for, And if you have people like that in your lives, don't take them for granted. I mean, because you really never know. Like, we've had some good friends in the past, and they're not here today. And so what was that I was saying to you, Jake, about just enjoy this literal moment.
Live in the moment.
Live in the moment and don't worry about tomorrow, because I'm bad at that, right? Like, I think you are too as an older, you're the oldest in your family. You like to plan and prepare, and that's good. But sometimes I catch myself forgetting about the present, like enjoying this moment because I'm trying to prepare and do things for the future. So a little bit of a preaching moment there for you guys. Sorry. But that was the biggest part I liked about this trip. The ducks, the evening hunt was amazing. Ducks working. And I don't know. It was just fun. So anyways, I dragged that 20 minutes past when I said I was ending. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the next one.